Hi guys, you know what time it is. It's time for another favourites video. If you watched last month's, you'll know that I filmed it quite early on in August. So I've actually got a whole host of things to talk about, and yeah, so let me get cracking. Actually, before I do start, I will quickly mention I'm filming this on a Sunday. Maybe I've put it up on the Sunday. If not, it's going up on the Monday. It is Alice, isn't it? And I just wanted to mention this. Now, you can't read what it says, but this is the Smashbox Shapematters. Now, I've only had this for 2 days, but if you live in the UK, in Boots at the moment, it's either £27 or £30. I managed to get it for 27, although it's advertised as 30. I don't know what that was all about, but it's this, hang on, let me open it. Is this palette here. I've only been using it for 2 days, but so far I think it's a great bargain, so I thought I would slam this in straight at the beginning of the video. As I said, I've only had it a few days, 48 hours, but I've been loving it, so I thought I would say go get it if you want it for half price. I'm going to start off with base products, and I will also start off with the base product that I have on my face right now, and that is the IT Cosmetics CC Your Skin But Better cream. It's this one. It's this little cutie here. I hauled it in my USA haul, which I will leave linked down below if you want to watch it, but this is one of the things that I picked up, but there's a couple other bits that you'll see in this favourites video that I did also pick up then. I really like this. I ran out of Laura Mercier's oil-free tinted moisturiser earlier in the year, and I love that stuff, but I'm trying to like use other products up before I buy them or try something new, so I didn't want to repurchase that straight away, and I feel like for the minute this has replaced it in my stash. I actually, although it's like a CC cream, which I would tend to apply with my hands, I actually way prefer applying it with a brush, and this is the brush I've actually been using. This brush I used today, this is the Real Techniques sculpting brush. Because I did apply this first of all with my hands, because as I said, that is the type of texture that I would usually, and I didn't like how it sat on my skin to begin with, to be perfectly honest with you. But I did persevere, and I tried it with a brush, and I much prefer it. I also like to use 2 pumps for my whole face, which seems like a lot on the back of your hand, but I like it. I do really like this stuff. I think it's really great for my more natural looking days, I suppose. My next base product is for my more made up days, I suppose, and it's actually 2. It's the Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation in both the powder and the actual liquid foundation as well. I just picked this out again. I haven't used it for a while, and I thought, why not give it a go? I shot my stash, and turns out I still really like it. As it says, it is full coverage. It is sort of, it sits well on the skin. It doesn't look cakey or anything, but it's definitely less natural than this option. I've also been loving using powder foundations. This one's really good if you like powder foundations. This is the Tarte one. I've got this in Fair Honey. This I've got in Fair Sand. And if you're wondering what one I've got this one in, I think it's 1. No, this is Fair that I've got this in. But yeah, so if I'm wanting to look a little bit more made up, I'll go for this. But if I'm looking for a more natural day, I've been going for this month. I've got a lip favourite, and it's what I've got on my lips right now. This is the Milani lip pencil. Let me give you its full name. Colour Statement Lip Liner in number 9, which is Spice. It's what I said I've got on my lips right now, although I don't think it's picking up as brown as it actually is. I really like the consistency of this. It's a good mixture between creamy and waxy, so it doesn't like drag and it isn't uncomfortable to wear, but it also stays on. I really like the colour as well. And yeah, I just think if you're into brownie nude lips, this one's really nice, and I would recommend it. Moving swiftly on to eye products, I've got a palette to share with you, and I think this is like the most autumnal eyeshadow palette out there, and that is the Cargo Cosmetics Vintage Escapes palette. Whew, that's a bit of a tongue twister. It looks a little something like this. So as you can see, a very autumnal palette. I've reviewed this one, so I'll leave it down below. I actually think I reviewed it about this time last year actually, and I cracked it back out because I was like, it's autumn time, it's time to use my Vintage Escapes. The colour that I have been hands down loving the most in this palette is Frolic. It's sort of a satin finish. It's very similar to Satin Taupe, but it's cooler and browner. So obviously if you don't want the whole palette, although I would recommend the whole palette, this is the colour that I've been really loving in it, because I have been using it in conjunction with the palette that was in my last favourites, which is the Shade and Light Eye. I've just been loving putting it on the outer V of my eye and blending it in, and I just think it's been really adding, because it is a satin finish and all the other shadows in the Shade and Light palette are matte, I feel like it doesn't like come across as like glittery through the crease, but it's definitely like adds just I think a bit more dimension, and I've just been really liking it. And yeah, I think you can get this palette for actually pretty cheap. I've seen it before on Fragrance Direct for like a tenner. Actually in my Debenhams they've got cargo for half price at the moment because they're changing the stand, so if you're in Bristol you can get this for half price right now. But yes, so this one is great for the season ahead of us. Right, moving on to hair. This month I have got 5 hair favourites, 4 of which are aerosols, so quite clearly I am fucking up the ozone layer all by myself. First 2 are from the same line. It's the Batiste styling line, which has come out this month, and oh my god, these straps, like, I've got a whole top on, I swear, you just can't see it. Anyway, this is the styling range and I've been loving both of them. This is their texture spray and I've been really enjoying popping this in my hair once I've curled it, and if I've backcombed my roots at all, I like to spray this in, because usually I would use one of those texturizing powders, but I find those like really do like matte up your roots, and I feel like this is a good, like, it's easier. Oh, my phone is blowing up. But yes, so I've been liking using this one, but I think the true star of the show of the whole range is the dry heat protectant spray. Absolute genius. Slash, it's not genius, it's a really easy idea, but I just don't understand why it's been really hard to get hold of. I believe Oscar Blandy used to do one and then that got discontinued. Anyway, I've been using this again on my hair before I heat style it. I do use one whilst my hair is wet, but I don't always blow dry, and equally if you put like a wet one in and then you leave it in, it's gross. I would say wait 10 seconds after you put it on, because it is still a little bit wet when you put it in, but literally like in 10 seconds you're good, and that's a lot better than like, I don't know, 5 minutes you wait when you put a wet one on. Anyway, and also it's Batiste, so it's really not that expensive either, and as you can tell I have lost both the lids to these. But yeah, I've been using these a lot this month and I really recommend them. I just thought that I would put this in as a quick service and announcement. My favourite dry shampoo is back in my life once more. This is the Not Your Mother's Clean Freak dry shampoo. I discovered this about a year ago whilst I was away in the States, and I was like, holy shit, this stuff is great. And Urban Outfitters in the UK have started selling some Not Your Mother stuff, but not the dry shampoo. So I can only pick this up whilst I'm away in the US, and I bought a can, and I just think this is the perfect medium of a wet and a dry shampoo formula. So if you can get your hands on this readily, I would recommend it, because I love it, but I can't. So I can like even hear that it's like running out because I've been using it so much, but I love it. And my final aerosol is a hairspray. I used to, back in my MySpace days, use so much hairspray, and I was very loyal to the Tony and Guy hairspray. Not that I dislike that, but I've slowly but surely stopped using hairspray as much. But I've been liking using this as sort of like a finishing spray. This is the Schwarzkopf Got To Be Too Sexy Big Volume Push-Up Hairspray. Hoo-wee, that is a title and a half, isn't it? Anyway, this smells like raspberries, so there's that. It doesn't smell like gross hairspray, and it doesn't give them like most like freeze hold. I think it's quite like a movable hold, which I quite like, because although obviously I want my style to stay in, I want it to not be like crunchy or anything. And I really like the mist on it too. Hang on. I just think the mist is, oh, it smells great. The mist on it's just really fine, and yeah, I think, you know, it's definitely not the hairspray I'm used to, because I'm used to really like backcombed big hair. But when I used to use hairspray, but I'm getting back into it, so yay! And my last hair favourite is probably no surprise. I dyed my ends green. It's like slowly but surely coming out. This is the Sea Punk Cream Colour by Bleach London. I've been loving it. One thing I've noticed since I dyed the ends of my hair green, so many other people at the moment are dyeing the ends of their hair green. There's been like, I want to say at least 5 times in the past month where I've been like, twins, this is fucking awkward. Anyway, this I think is actually kind of stained my hair, because it says 2 to 10 washes, but I have definitely washed it more than that. I'm half tempted, I've got a tiny little bit left. I'm half tempted to pop that in with a mask, which is what I was doing whilst I was away. So I'd use this to dye my hair whilst I was away, and what I would do to sort of top it up is I would get some hair mask. I'd actually get the Bleach London one, and I'd get some of this, and I would mix it all together, and I'd pop it in the ends of my hair, and it sort of like would refresh it. But in all honesty, it's staying in on its own. I haven't re-dyed it for a long time. This has been in my hair for over a month, so I really like this. It's definitely stays longer than the rosé one, which I've tried before. So I think obviously between colour to colour, it says on the front 2 to 10 washes, so you know, that is a vast difference. But yeah, I like it. I do really like it, and I think this colour is really nice too. So yeah. I've also got a couple skincare bits. First up, I've got these simple Kind to Eyes eye makeup remover pads. Now, these aren't the world's best makeup remover pads, I'm sure, but the size and sort of the compactability of these were great. I actually picked these up whilst I was in the airport, so I could just like refresh my face. I use them on my eyes, and then I do tend to go all over my face with them as well. And whilst I was away, these were very much a lifesaver. And for my last skincare product, I have a face scrub. This is the St. Ives Apricot scrub, and this is the fresh skin one. I know they have 2 apricot scrubs, and one of them has an orange label and one of them has a green label. I like the green label one. I've had the orange label one before, and I just find even for my skin, which is pretty robust, I must be honest, sort of did struggle with that one. But this one's just a little bit more gentler, but it's really, really effective. I like to use a mix of both manual and chemical exfoliants, and this one I've been using in the shower, and it's made my skin super duper soft. I've had it before, and I've recently picked it back up, and I do really like it. I didn't think about it, but this definitely is a hair favourite, but I'm sticking in the non-beauty category. This is a Babyliss curling wand. I know it sounds very nondescript. I'm pretty sure this one has been probably updated, and this exact model probably isn't in production anymore. But the specifics of this wand is the thinness. I have been using quite a thick curling wand for quite a while, but actually whilst I was away, one of my friends had really she used a thin wand, and I just could not take my eyes off of her hair, and like every day I'd be like, I love your hair looks great. And she used a smaller wand. She actually had a Jose Ebo one, which I don't have, but once I got home, I cracked out my old battered original curling wand, which was this one here, which was thinner than the one that I use right now. I feel like this makes it look more like mermaid wavy. It's what I've used to curl my hair today. And I think it also makes my hair look longer, I think, because there's more sort of loops, if that makes sense. So it's just like, although I've got quite long hair as it is, I feel like it makes my hair look longer. So yes, I have been loving this. And now going for slightly more random pouches. This, again, this one's got cameras on it, but I have just been loving like small pouches to put in your bags. Again, because I've been traveling, I just thought having something like this with sort of like necessities in have made it easy for me. For example, this has got a mini hairbrush in it, some rolls of film in it, my GoPro back in it, and I would also put, say, like my lipstick for the day. If I had like a bunch of stuff in my bag, like clothes, like a change of clothes, if I was like staying somewhere overnight, this just made things a lot easier to carry around in a backpack. And if you're back at university or school or even work, because I use these at work too, I just think this is a really easy way to organise the stuff in your bag, and I've been liking doing it, so I thought I'd include that. I have got one TV favourite, which is very rare for me. I basically don't watch TV, but I have been watching and loving This Is England 90. I think if you're coming into This Is England and you haven't seen the other ones, I don't think it would make as much sense. I think you do need to watch both the film and the previous 2 series. But this is the last instalment, and what I love about, is it Shapematters? I'm pretty sure it's Shapematters. What I love about it is there's like a definite degree of humour, but it's also harrowing at the same time. At the time of me filming this, they've got 1 episode left to go, and I think shit's gonna hit the fan. And I think it just works with the extremes of comedy and tragedy just so well, and because, you know, life isn't all fun and games and life isn't always shit, so I've just been really, really enjoying it. I love the characters from when I first started watching it, when I first watched the film when it came out, and yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And moving on to music, I have got so many music favourites. I'm thinking, by the way, of doing a playlist every month on Spotify if you want to see what I've been listening to, because I just love music, to be honest with you. But let me crack on with what I've been loving. First of all, the Offspring, specifically Smash, the album Smash. But if you haven't listened to Offspring before, then I would just listen to their greatest hits to get into them. Me, like everybody else my age who likes the Offspring, used to play Crazy Taxi, so that's how I got into the Offspring. And whilst I was away, they came on the radio and I was like, I forgot how much I love them. I think for some people, like relaxing music for them is like, I don't know, Enya or something. But for me, it's like listening to music that I used to listen to sort of in my formative years, which includes the Offspring, and they're fantastic. They're amazing if you like sort of, I wouldn't even go as far as saying 90s punk bands, but they're like punk rock, and I love them. And speaking of 90s noughties, this is more pop punk. I've been listening to a lot of Blink-182. Fun fact, Blink-182 used to be my favourite band. They've now been taken over by Fall Out Boy, if you're wondering. And yeah, again, similar reasons. I was just like, hot damn, I forgot how much I love Blink-182. They're currently recording a new album with Matt Skiba from Alkaline Trio, if you're into that whole music scene. So I'm interested to see what it's like to be minus Tom DeLonge, but he seems like an asshole. Oh my god, I've been listening to so much Phil Collins as well. Just curveball it on that one. Phil Collins is great. Oh, Genesis, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, particularly Easy Lover, Susudio, and In the Air Tonight, if you want recommendations on Phil Collins. If you're like, who the fuck's Phil Collins? If you just listen to those songs, you'll know who I'm talking about. And then I've got two other bands to talk about. Seriously, I told you that I had some music to talk about. The other two are brand new and Taking Back Sunday. Again, they had like a big old rivalry like 10 years ago, but I've been loving both of them. Specifically, I think both their albums they released in 2006, which is Louder Now for Taking Back Sunday. I've been loving My Blue Heaven off of that. I just think it's a great song. And just the entirety of The Devil and God. Oh my god, I have had that on repeat. I just forgot how good that album is. And, oh, just brand new amazing. Just every single artist that I've just mentioned is fantastic, so I think you should go listen to them. And for a food favourite, I've actually got a drink favourite, and that's just Coca-Cola, like Coke, you know, that massive company. I swear that stuff is addictive, right? I haven't drank that stuff in years. I then like drank like one can of it and I'm like, I'm fucking hooked. I have a Coke addiction. I am in love with the cocoa, for real. Anyway. Oh my god, I almost forgot. I told you I had so many random favourites this month, right? Snapchat. I haven't vlogged this September. I just had a lot of shit going on and I haven't felt like it, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But I will be vlogging in October, don't worry about it. But I have been Snapchatting. Like when they did that update, I just kind of like reignited my love for Snapchat. My Snapchat is just plain and simple Alice Thomas. My Twitter and my Instagram are Alice Thomas with 2 extra S's. So if you want to follow me on any of that fun stuff, please do. Let me know how you've been getting on. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, thanks so much. Bye!